with me, just getting the numbers up a little bit. I want to talk to you about something that I experienced yesterday. I want to talk to you about something that I just got something real deep on my heart that I want to express to you. That, folks, I just care. Stick with me. Good morning. It's Wyatt. It is me. It is I. It is us together again this morning. Listen, I want to start off by saying thanks for joining me today, all two of you. That all being said, it doesn't matter. I've always told you that if it was just one or two of us, we're going to be here and we're going to talk about it. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to start off today because I did a special edition yesterday of something, and it was it was something that, I thought about at that particular time was going to maybe show or prove or give us an idea of some differences, how things are being done out here. I'm a little rattled right now because I got something deep on my heart. I got something now I really want to say, because yesterday I did a live. I don't know if you've seen it. If not, go back on the Facebook page. I'm not super proud of it, but it was something that I felt was necessary. I did a live in my neighborhood, and it almost turned into a mockery. It almost turned into me kind of, I didn't mean to do it like this. I think what happened is a lot of people misunderstood what I was trying to do. I think people misunderstood what I was saying. And I think some people may have heard certain portions of it and ran with that, because we are a misinformed, nation. We tend to go harder on misinformation than we do the truth sometime, unfortunately. Whether, it's what I'm talking about or what other people are talking about. But I will say this to you. I do regret my approach, but I don't regret my message. I'm human. And the reason why I'm saying this like this is because, some of the messages that I was getting didn't make me feel like I was really serving a purpose. And I'm a purpose type of guy. Unfortunately, if I'm not in it for a reason, I'm usually nowhere near it. And I just want to express to those that may have misunderstood, I want to explain what I was trying to do. Some people don't really care, because I got messages on the other side too saying, yes, I understand. There's a huge difference in what we see here. But what you guys don't understand is I was just trying to make an example of why things are done a certain way. I never, not one time, said anything derogatory about anybody. Matter of fact, it could have went the other way. It could have went to a point where I could have been arrested for doing exactly what that young man did in my city, and that was filming a public gathering. Now, I don't think that young man orchestrated. I don't think he structured that gathering. I just think he was part of it. In other words, he was filming it. And I'll be honest with you, I don't agree with his actions. Everybody know that. Now, I'm not going to ever step off of my stance of how I feel about what was going on down there that was not right. All right, I'm not stepping off of that. But what I will say is this. It was reckless, but it's no more reckless than what the churches are doing. Those that are open. Everybody know I have nothing against anybody. You know, y'all know I cheer for those that don't cheer for me. You know that. But at the same time, I think what happens is we become misunderstood. Now, let me say something about what's going on with the young man. Mr. Davis is his name. I think him getting arrested was what everybody should have been. Everybody should have got arrested. If you're going to arrest one, you should arrest all. They should have took the entire block. Now, that might sound harsh, but why punish one person over many actions? And there was no doubt in my mind that what they did to that young man, what they were going to do to that young man is what they did. And that was they were going to serve him up as an example, which is totally wrong. Okay, it's totally wrong. First of all, y'all know I'm an information guy. I'm not going to talk about some bullshit. I'm not going to tell you something that I don't know much about. I may give an opinion, but I base my opinion on fact. And the fact is, this young man was being charged with a misdemeanor. Am I trying to justify what he done? Absolutely not. You know my stance. Anybody that knows me know exactly how I feel about this. However, for him to be held on a misdemeanor over the weekend with no bond is excessive. For him to be put in the Justice Center over the weekend for a misdemeanor is excessive. I watched the prosecutor pull out a law book and hit him with it. No disrespect to my brothers on the block. I'm telling y'all, before you look at me and say that I'm doing something that's hurting you or I'm justifying something, you better listen to an old head so you will stay out of traffic of that bullshit. Because when somebody get an opportunity to do you in, you can't serve them the bullets. You can't serve them what they need in order to do you. You can't serve it to them. You cannot do that. And then you turn around and look at everybody as if you've been done wrong. Yeah, you probably have, but you can't serve them. You can't give them the ammunition to destroy you or hit you with. That's all basically. I'm putting it in a nutshell. You can't do that. But when they gave that young man a $350,000 bond, I knew it was going to be a high bond. Y'all know I'm in that business. I knew it was going to be a crazy bond. And I knew it was going to be a bond that this young man was not going to probably be able to make. Unfortunately, they were using him as an example. And they were trying to show anybody that do this reckless behavior, blah, 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 this is what you're going to get. Now, let me tell you what should have happened. Now, this is a matter of my opinion. I'm not the attorney on this. I'm none of that. I'm just telling you from my 15, 16 years of experience, what they should have did with this young man, a true example would have been maybe allowing him to post a bond, a small bond. But let me tell you what would have been appropriate. They should have put him on home incarceration. That would have definitely, they could have gave him an OREMU, electronic monitoring device. They could have put him on home incarceration, which would have been sending a message. It would not be taking up a bed of someone right now that's doing that. I mean, in the Justice Center, they're already overcrowded. They're letting misdemeanors go. They're letting people out, not letting them go, but they're letting them out and giving them court dates. And anybody that know me, they know that I try to share information. Matter of fact, I have a former judge who's running for prosecutor, Fanon Rucker. I support him. I try to put his messages on my Facebook page so people can hear legitimate, reasonable information that we can use. information that we can utilize to position ourselves in the right spot. The bond was excessive, okay? The actions was reckless. But let me tell you why I go down and I go hard. Because I care. I care. And let me just say this to you. I don't take back anything I said, but I will take responsibilities for my actions. I made some people feel like I was trying to be disrespectful, and I really wasn't. And maybe my approach, folks, I told you day one of me doing my platform here, I told you that I've never done this before. I don't even publicly speak. I don't do this. All I do is try to add common sense to what's going on and position us in a place that I try to add confidence in what people are doing. That's what I'm really trying to do. And, you know, some of the DMs that I received were harsh. Some of them were everything wasn't negative, but some of them were in a direction of, you know, let me just say it to you like this, because I don't want to give anybody any sense that they really rattled me or nothing like that. I'm more troubled with the whole situation than I am anything that anybody say to me. Threats, things of that nature. I'm not really concerned with that. But let me just say this, if I may. Threats don't scare me, all right? But what really, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. I've been threatened my entire life. Everywhere and everything I've done in my life, I've had to deal with a threat in some sense, whether it's they're threatening me physically, whatever. But my biggest opponent of threat is when I am the threat. So if you think sending me threatening DMs is rattling me, I'm sorry, y'all. I've been on this earth way too long. That's not going to do it. And then that also proves my point of there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Because if you're hurting someone or you're threatening the messenger, somebody that's trying to make shit right for you, then you're kind of a lost cause. Because anybody that knows me know that I'm only trying to do the best thing for you, not me. I'm good over here. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be big-headed, nor am I trying to be arrogant. But I'm just being honest with you. The information that I pass along to you is free, and I don't benefit from what you benefit from, other than the fact that I love the satisfaction that you gotta come up. But let me just explain one thing about these threats. I am a threat. You understand what I'm saying? Some people will get what I'm saying. I am a threat. So there's no way you can threaten me, and I fear being a threat versus someone threatening me. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Until you walk in these shoes, until you have walked in places where you are a threat to others, you'll never understand the true meaning or the true feeling of what a threat really is. I don't want to talk about this long. I don't want to talk about this very long because it's disheartening to me. It's disheartening that people would think that I would try to do something to make it rough or tough on someone else, when in fact and I want you to pay attention to this. I've had a couple family members, I've had a couple friends all tell me, don't do what you're doing. Don't do that platform. People don't want to hear that shit. All you're going to do is mess yourself up. All you're going to do is some people ain't going to understand you. They're not going to want to understand. They're not going to care. And all you're doing more harm than you're doing good. Well, let me tell you, I'm hard-headed. I'm a little hard-headed. And the reason why I'm a little hard-headed is because I guess I was just I guess I'm just built that way. I remember when people told me not to start my own business. I even had some of the closest people in the world to me not have confidence in me. Didn't think I can do it. Some even made it tough for me to do it. And I'm talking about people we love, because, you know, envy is a powerful tool. It's a powerful thing, because people that love you can envy you, and they don't really realize what they're doing to you. They really don't know. Sometimes people feel left out, and they'll hurt you mentally just to catch up. And to my people, my young people who may not understand what I'm doing or where I've been and what I'm trying to accomplish for us, I apologize if I may not be coming off the right way. I apologize, but I'm no public speaker. I've not been schooled for this. My schooling came from a different situation. And it's disheartening to me that people would think that I was, you know, I'll share a couple just verbatim. I'll just tell you in a nutshell how it was said. And that was, I had a couple, you know, say, F what you talking about, man. You know, free this, free whatever, you know, his name and blah, blah, blah. Bruh, you totally missed what I was doing and what I was saying. Totally missed it. Totally missed what I was doing. Totally missed the point. But I can tell you this, thanks to a few people, the message was heard by people that needed to hear it. It went to the mayor's office. It went to the governor's office. All I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is this. If what I do or what I say is not for you, just don't fuck with me. Excuse my language, just don't mess with me. Don't pay attention. Because what I'm telling you, you know, what I'm saying and what I'm trying to do, it's not meant for you anyway. Because if you don't understand it, it's not meant for you. Go a different course. Go a different route. We'll catch you later. You'll catch up with us one day. We'll make it together. We just have different paths on getting there. I'm never going to give up on my young people. I'm never going to shut myself down to a point where a young guy or a young woman or someone can't come talk to me or can't say something or I can't deliver a message. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe I delivered my message in the wrong way. Maybe I said something the wrong way. Maybe I did it at the wrong place. But let me tell you this. Let me tell you why I did what I did. I did not think it all the way through, but let me express to you why I did what I did. It was because I'm a show and tell type of guy. See, social media has allowed people to be all they can be. It's allowed a lot of people to be able to lie, to be able to influence, to exaggerate, to change the narratives. You can turn you ever heard the old saying, you can turn $1, you can turn $1 into, you can turn $15, I'm sorry, you can turn 15 cents into $1 or some old shit like that. Well, I didn't seen a lot of people turn a whole lot of cents into dollars. I mean, they just make it look way more than what it really is. I'm sorry, I'm rumbling a little bit, only because I'm a little confused. I feel bad about some of the threats, you know, some of the things that were said. You know, I help, you know, I'm sorry. I mean, like I said, I'm just in a position right now where I don't understand. Maybe because I should have listened to some of the people that care about me. Maybe what I should have done is I should have just said it and hope you believe me versus me showing you and being able to prove it. They call those receipts, right? Listen. All I want to say to you is this. I only try to do what's best for us. Period. All of us. And if what I'm doing is not working, if it's not productive, I have no place on this stage, this platform. It only take one bad apple, so to speak, to mess up the entire fruit. We all seen that. And that's where we are now. We're at a spot right now where it only take few. Let me tell you what disturbs me more than anything in the world of this virus and what we got going on. The most disturbing thing of this is the reckless behavior is one thing, okay? If you want to be reckless, that's fine. The problem that I have is some of these guys and girls that I see being reckless out here have children. And to go out and be reckless like that when there's facts that people are dying, there's facts that this thing exists. Not an opinion, not created television, not fake ass reality TV. This ain't Love and Hip Hop. This ain't Love and Corona and no shit like that. This is the real deal. These numbers are really counting, and it's the real shit. You have facts that this shit exists. To go into a church, to go into a block party, so touch each other, and do these things, and then take it home to your children, to infest your home, if that's what's happening. Statistics show, facts are showing that's what's happening. Not my opinion, not how you might feel about Corona, but real numbers are that this shit is happening for real. To be reckless, I've seen people go to these places and do things and then post pictures of them holding their kids on Facebook. I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it hurts me to see that. It hurts me to see that because reports just show yesterday, damn, a tiger catching Corona. They just said a 1-week-old baby had it. They just said a 1-week-old baby have it. So that means chances are either the baby was born with the Corona or it attracted it in the delivery room or in the room somewhere in the hospital. So don't think that any of us, man, now I'm learning more and more each day. Not based on what people tell me, but what I'm reading and what I'm looking at, the documentation, like court records. Real shit, y'all. Real. So listen, there's not a threat that can scare me because I've been a threat my whole life. Remember that. Remember that. My biggest fear is not having to deal with somebody for what I say. My biggest fear has always been me being a threat wherever I'm at and people slowing me down from progress. So good luck saying something that's going to put me out of pocket of me doing or saying what I'm going to do or say. It's just not going to happen. But I will say this, and I want to say this while I have enough people on here. And then we're going to jump on something else real fast. I do apologize for those that may not have understood what I did yesterday. I was not trying to big up myself. I was not trying to dumb down, make someone look stupid. I was not trying to do that. What I was trying to do was show. I was trying to add some common sense to a situation. I was trying to show a difference. I wanted to make the narratives, make sure they stuck. They were the same, so we could stop using our get out of jail free card. In other words, when you cry wolf, when you say things that really, really, really are off of what you're trying to fight for, racial equality, when you use unnecessary or bad examples and you think that we're being done wrong and we're using the bad examples, let me tell you something. We have used a lot of these cards to the point where when something real happened, it's almost as if it didn't even happen, because we've thrown up so many different things that have nothing to do with our true struggle and our true fight, that when we really get a subject, when we really get something that is real, it goes nowhere. People roll their eyes and say, here come that shit again. Here we go. We got video of people being done a certain way and they're getting off. I'm losing people. I'm losing people now because of, I don't know if I'm getting preachy, but I just want to make a point of why I do what I do. But I got DMs, I got people saying, watch my back. You know what? Let me just say this to you. You can't be who I am. You can't do what I do with it for this long and not have watched my back. I don't watch my back. I got people that watch my back for me. Sorry. So stand in line. But I will say this to you. It troubles me that people would even think that I would try to do something against the grain. That troubles me. I don't know what to say. I'm lost. I got a phone call yesterday from somebody who said, slow down. Slow down what you're doing. And I didn't understand why, because this was somebody that I really looked up to. This is someone that I felt like understood my pain and my struggles and my frustrations. I thought they understood. But I'm not a Mr. Know-it-all. But I had time to think on everything that person said to me during the night. I thought about it. And, I started this platform just to talk to probably the ones that are listening right this minute. It was for us. It was for us to talk about how we can connect the dots and do things better. And then all of a sudden, here come this corona thing. And I know God don't put things in us. He don't put stuff around us and in us for no reason. He don't do this for nothing. So I felt like I better talk about some of this. I felt it to be right because I seen a lot of things going wrong. I seen businesses failing. I knew it was coming. This stimulus package, it's not going to help the majority of the real strong-hearted businesses out here. It's not going to help us. A lot of businesses won't make it through this. I hate to say it. I don't want to sound negative. Y'all know how I am. I'm just a realist. Majority of us will not survive this. Financially, our businesses will go under. Another thing that's going to happen, businesses are going to find a new way to do business. Look at how they're fighting for your business right now. Who would have ever known you can buy a car and not have to pay for it for 6 months? I knew that you could do that. Pay attention to how people are doing business now. Pay attention to how businesses, big and small, are going after your money now. Pay attention. Let that be a lesson of the versatility that they have of earning, of making money, or, earning your money, earning your dollars. And then for those that have businesses, pay attention. Pay attention to how those other large companies are doing things. For salespeople, listen. Learn how to take a different approach at earning the business, earning the handshake. That's another thing I'm going to talk about on another show one day, and that is, I think the days of the handshake are done. I'm a boardroom guy. Y'all might not be able to tell because I've been wearing hoodies during this whole crisis and everything. But let me just say something to you. We're going to have to change how we do business, how we approach our customers. We're going to have to change how we talk to one another as business people. We have to change it. Nothing wrong. 2020 is the year of the change, obviously. 2020, we're changing a whole lot. I think 2021 will end 2020, with momentum into 21, and things will get better. I have no doubt. However, I'm going to do my part. I hope I see 2021, God willing. This virus out here is something serious. So let me just read this one real fast. I'm sorry. Doug Maples, man, you did show the narrative. Some of the listeners or followers don't have comprehensive skills or common sense. Maybe not. But the people that I know, you do. Wayne does. Yolanda Williams do. Tiffany Hill does. Toby Kerr does. Lydell Means do. Doug Maples does. I'm sorry, I said you already, didn't I, Doug? I'm sorry. Denise, she does. People understand. I'm not talking to the ones that don't get it. See, sometimes it take us a moment. It take us a while to get it. I learned that. I've been told things that I wasn't ready for many times in my life. Many times in my life, I've been told by one person, and a year later, 2 years or 3 years later, another person say it to me. I've just been blessed with a sponge mind to remember where it came from the first time, and that person co-signed it, and then it made sense to me because I had to mature into that information. I don't know. I think that's what it is. I think we have to mature into the information. Well, I just wanted to share that this morning. I just wanted to share that with people this morning about something I did yesterday that may not have done us any good, or did me any good, I should say. All I was trying to do was show the differences in the ordinance. All I was trying to do, I was not trying to say that one group of people were better than the other, because y'all know for a fact I went in on the churches. Now, how can I possibly survive? You do know that's why they're not going hard on these churches, because they don't want to be, these politicians and lawmakers are law, people that that control the laws, police and things of that nature, and sheriffs. They don't want the responsibility of dealing with what's coming down the pipe of challenging the church. They don't want that. Well, I'm not a voted official. I have a platform where you can zoom in, or you can click, let me hear what he's talking about, or just move on. So whatever I say shouldn't hurt me when it comes down to my opinion, because I can't make a difference. Whatever I say is just my personal opinion. The only reason why I say it is because maybe someone else feels exactly the same way, and we feel better about feeling the way we feel. I don't know. I still don't even know why I'm on here. I still do not know. I got a secret to tell you. I don't know what I'm going to talk about most of the time until the music go off. I think the only time I sent a message out was the other day because I had some great information about the SBA loans and PPP loan, and I wanted to share it. So I shared on my Facebook page, tomorrow we're going to be talking about blah, blah, blah. And that was only because I had some real hyped up information that I wanted to share with everyone that would have been informational. But up until then, every time I hit the power button, we off and running. You probably can tell. Some probably can tell. But I felt the responsibility to do this. And the reason why I felt the responsibility to do this is because, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I didn't have this. I didn't have someone that I can listen to when I felt like it, that can share information that might get me where I'm going without a few troubles, without a few hiccups. Maybe some of the things that I've experienced will help you see it when it's coming your way, and you can brace yourself for it. I can't stop what's going to happen to you. If you're going to go through a bankruptcy as a business, I can't stop that. Maybe I can prevent you from going down the roads of certain things. But all I want to do is be your seatbelt. I want to help you survive that crash. Prepare you for it. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know what else to say to do. I don't know. I just felt really hard that. Let me tell you one thing I told my wife one time. I told her, I said, you know what? I don't like to watch reviews. I don't like to look at reviews online of different places. You know how, people, you go on vacation and people write a review of how the hotels were. I used to not like to do that because usually the people who leave the reviews are the people that say the worst things, the people that had the worst experience. Just check it. This is from my experience in life. Most of the time when they leave a review, you're going to get more bad reviews on any postings than you do good reviews. Maybe that's just the things that we do, that do that. Maybe however you're living, maybe people leave great reviews. All I'm saying is the bad ones always outweigh the good ones. And it's weird that it's like that, but it's like that. Don't stay here, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to tell you another thing that's kind of funny, and I watch it. I pay attention. I watch some of the reckless shit on Facebook and social media. I've seen parents putting kids in like alcohol, and kids drinking alcohol and doing reckless shit. I'm talking about babies. And I don't understand how that gets so much attention. I've seen people do things on social media that are so reckless and doing dumb shit, and it gets a lot more views than a mug that's trying to help you be better or help you accomplish your goals or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not trying to be that Mr. Naive guy. I just know that sometimes I feel like what I'm doing is for nothing. I feel like more people want to leave negative comments than they do positive ones. So it makes me evaluate what the hell am I really doing? It makes me think, why create enemies to be, is it worth one person loving me or loving what I'm saying to create 10, 15 enemies? Is it really worth that? I guess so. I'm here. One of my favorite people in the world who I haven't talked to in a long time, I'm gonna shout her out right now. She's gonna not know that I'm doing this. I hope she's watching. But she was very special to me. She's She gave me a lot of the confidence that I already knew I had, but she helped me bring it out. She may not know she did this. Her name is Debbie Bailey. She was very special to me in Germany. She made me understand what true leadership was. She don't know that. And I think her family seen that. I mean, here I was, a young man, and I think her family didn't understand our relationship. And what I mean by that is, I think she seen me as a son. I seen her as a mentor. She was very, very cool. She was nice. She was the fuel that brought out the confidence that I needed to let me know that I was a leader. She said something to me yesterday on the message. She reached out. We haven't seen each other in, I'm talking about decades. Thank God for Facebook. And she said something. She said, "You have been like this since high school. You have been able to, everything that you've ever gone through and seen, people you go against the grain. You do the things that people just won't do. You say the things that people won't say. You have a strength that a lot of people don't have." If I was a public official and I was trying to be, voted in office or something, I probably wouldn't say the things that I say. But that's probably why I'll never be a public official. That's probably why I'll never run for city council. That's probably why I'll never do that, because a guy like me can't win. Have I ever said that in my life? I'm the most competitive person in the world. Every sports, everything I've ever played, we're going to win. But I know I have no chance at winning anything like that because my mouth. And then I thought about it. I said, well, shit, Trump, look at what he did. He said everything you could possibly say not to get elected. And he won. Jesus. Whew. And he won. I'm sorry, folks, to rumble this morning, man, but I just wanted to say something about yesterday. That's all. I just wanted to let you know that I was not being disrespectful. My buddy Jesse, oh man, he's funny. Let me read this one. I want you to hear this because this is new to me. Let me read this one. I'm going to read it as I'm trying to understand it myself. And it says, maybe they didn't understand it due to, this is from what happened yesterday, from Jason Cornelius. He said, maybe they didn't understand it due to you not presenting it right, or wording. Sorry, hold on one second. Maybe they didn't understand it due to you presenting it right, or your wording may have been off. You kept saying you're not being a smartass, but when I watched the video, I actually thought you were being a smartass. I got what you were trying to say, what to say to your crowd, but most of them didn't get it. That says a lot. It might have went a little better if you broke down your point to your crowd better. Okay, I'm sorry. I just read it the way it was on there. Okay, I wasn't not trying to present it, Jason, in your kind of way. And that's why I'm here right now expressing what I'm expressing. Maybe I didn't say it right. Maybe I didn't go about it the right way. And I wasn't trying to be a smart ass. And when I was saying that, I guess it was just my intentions were to let people know that I'm not trying to be funny. And what I mean by that is I'm not trying to make people seem like everything they did was wrong. We're all breaking the rule in a certain sense, but there's a certain way to break the rule, if that makes any sense at all. In other words, I don't think the ordinance says that we can't be outside and we can't do something. Hell, they're plugging for us to be at the parks, do something that provides social distance. And I think what I was trying to do was show, look, this is the same thing. I mean, you could tell by the title. I said block party in my neighborhood. That was far from a block party. But sometimes you have to say the right thing to attract people in. That's what I'm learning. If I would have said, hey, man, look at everybody in their yards where I live and a couple cars going down the street, nobody would have paid attention to that. So I guess the reason why I said I'm not trying to be a smart ass is because I was really trying to massage the topic. You know, I was just trying to make people understand, and I'm not really trying to be a smart ass. I'm putting it in front of you, and I'm trying to show you some of the differences and why things work different. That's all I was trying to do. I was not trying to downplay the subject. I wasn't trying to do that at all. And, you know, I slept on this. I slept on this. It hurt me a little bit that I did that. You know, and here's the thing. The same people that think, now this is very important. This is where I wish I had more people to hear this. The same people that thought that I was trying to make a mockery of that young man that got arrested, I bet I put more work in to this day forward, trying to make sure that young man gets a better situation on his bond. I bet I can make phone calls right now to try to make some things happen for that young man versus standing out talking about free to real. I guarantee you I can do a few things. It may not work, but the effort is what I'm talking about. The effort. I bet you the simple fact that what I did yesterday, I bet where that went could possibly help us in doing what's right for that young man. And I bet you one other thing. I bet you the fact that I said some of the things that no one ever even said about helping that young man, I bet it'll come up now. I bet his lawyer might even take what I said to heed, and I bet you that might be what he fight for. I bet you some of the options that I threw up in the air, such as home incarceration, making this thing make sense, I bet you it'll come up in the air. I bet it'll come up. If that young man hasn't got out of jail, if he doesn't get out this week, I'll make a public announcement. I'll petition the court myself. As a certified, I'm an officer of the court. I'll do it myself, whether his attorney wants me to or not. I know what's right. But let me see how many phone calls I get and say, hey, man, we got this amount of money on that bond. We want to get him out. How can you help? I don't know how many of them calls I'm going to get, but I know what I'd be able to do, and I've already started it. Everybody that put something on social media yesterday, once that young man got that bond, I made a comment about if it came across my vine. If it came across, and everybody that I put some comments on will tell you it's been very consistent. Yeah, Wyatt said that bond was excessive. It's an abuse of the courts. Blah, 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 blah. Everything I said was true nature of that young man being done wrong. That young man was done wrong. He was reckless, but I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to say this right here publicly because I'm not running for office. It was an abuse of the court system, of the bond system, of that young man's rights. That bond was excessive. That young man didn't put a flyer up. He didn't charge admission to the block party. He was not the promoter. He didn't orchestrate that situation, so he doesn't deserve to be treated as if he was a ringleader or the kingpin of that block party. He didn't deserve that. That's not justice. You do that to that young man, you have to do that to pastors. They don't want to hear me. You don't hear me. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm not mistaken, I've never ran a church in my life. But I know the preacher may have to go to the board, but he can make a recommendation that we need to shut this thing down. We need to find a more progressive way to get to our congregation. We need to be able to let our people know that we care so much that we're going to shut the doors, but they can still, the word could still be heard. Somebody needs to be held responsible for the irresponsibilities of the pastors that were just having a meet and greet, having congregations over the weekend. That young man did not have the right to stop that block party down on next to Shell. He may have been influencing people to the point of saying, hey, we doing this. But read the comments on that young man's Facebook page. They were all going in on him. Every once in a while you see one be like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Y'all lit, y'all blank, blank, blank. But for the majority of the people making comments on his page, it wasn't positive, folks. He was being called crazy, dumb, in a joking kind of way, but it wasn't good, folks. It was reckless behavior, and he was being told that on the live. But at the same time, we got the news cameras with the same evidence up at the church. I don't want to say ushers at the door hugging people. They could have just been church members, but they were on that property. It was an organized gathering. See, the same hate I'm going to get from my street dudes, from me making the comments and the things that I've done, the same hate that I got from them for doing what I did, I'll get the same hate from the people that push the church. But listen, somebody got to say it. Somebody has to say there's no difference between the two. There's no difference. The young man was saying harsh and crazy things and putting the fingers up he was doing all of that. I get it. But I have to just say this. The pastor's not putting the middle finger up, but they saying forget the corona. We have a higher power. We got something that's bigger than the corona, and we believe in that, and that's going to get us through this. My question to you, Pastor, is this. Do you not believe that any of those that are dying, the 10,000 plus, are not churchgoers? They're all sinners in some fashion or some kind of way. You don't think any of those pastors or deacons or anybody like that are allowing people to come into those walls, that church? You don't think that they should be held to the same standards as some young man that had a camera phone that was filming an organized gathering? You don't call that the same thing? I'm sorry, I'm confused. Were they keeping social distance? I can't even remember. Was it Channel 5 News? One of them has the film, the footage. They're showing Channel 19, I believe it is, here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Fox. They're showing the people shaking hands and going in and having congregations. They show kids going in. How many kids were down on the Shell? Look, don't think I'm twisting myself up to the point where I'm trying to justify what they did on the streets in the block party. It was dumb as hell. I'm just trying to make it make sense. I'm just trying to show where it's the same actions, same decisions. But I really think that there was more in the church. I'm sorry, man. I am not one of them guys that's going to, I got to give it to you the way I see it. And young brothers and sisters, please follow me on this. I will fight that fight just like that preacher is just as reckless as anybody that's down there trying to have a block party. It's the same thing. They had music. Both parties have music. Because you saying something about the Lord is one thing. Don't change it don't change corona. It don't change the infection. Now the lady that I seen get interviewed coming out of the church, she said, I ain't worried about the corona. I'm buried in the blood of the Lord. Okay. And none of the 10,000 people that have died, none of them are covered by the blood of the Lord. None of them. How do you explain that? That same lady, God bless her heart. She has to go to work somewhere. Maybe she's a stay-at-home mom. Maybe she's a millionaire and don't have to step out anywhere. I don't know. I don't care. But what I'm saying to you, she go to stores. She goes somewhere, and she walked out of that church Sunday not knowing if she had touched anybody that had corona. Were they doing corona testing at the front door of the church? Maybe so. But I think they would have said, somebody would have said that. I even heard one of the pastors, associated pastors, get interviewed by Channel 19. And my God, he was even threatening. If you say something bad about me, I'm going to see you. We got that. I know y'all seen that on tape. For those that seen Channel 19 Fox. If you say something bad about me and what I'm doing here, I'm going to see you. You'll see me, buddy. I seen him. I heard him say it. All I'm saying to you is this. The same hard ass that I was to the young man, I'll be the same hard ass that I am to the preachers, to the people that are responsible. Maybe the board made him preach. I don't know. I don't know the business of the church. I don't know church business. I don't know that. But I know it's an organization that's organized to do certain things, to praise the God. And you know, the arrogance of a pastor to sacrifice his congregation like that. Now, keep in mind, guys, I got friends. I have buddies that I grew up with. Matter of fact, I know a few pastors, a few preachers. So just like anything else, I'm not talking, when I make my comments, it's not a comment towards the entire group. It's a comment that applies to those that are making these reckless moves. You don't know. It only take one person in that building to have corona. And for the same people that were talking about how reckless and how dumb it was for those kids, those guys, those grown-ups to be down at that block party, you better feel the same way about the church being open. You better feel that same way. Because unless they got some type of corona spray in the church, they're just as vulnerable at catching it as anybody else and everybody else. And they are able to spread it just as effectively as anybody else, no matter where you contract it from. No matter where you get it from. Listen, I don't want to keep beating a dead horse when it comes to that. No disrespect to the dead that has faced this corona crisis. I don't want to beat the dead horse. But I do want to say that I wanted to I wanted to apologize for some of the things I may have done yesterday. If you didn't get what I did, if you didn't get it and understand it, give it some time. Give it some time. So to my people that really, really understand where we going and what we doing, guess what we're going to do? We're going to take this as a positive situation, this whole corona thing. We're going to learn how to penetrate. I know I just went from this to that real fast, but that's just my makeup. Because I hear people like Miss O'Neill saying, stop explaining yourself. They know, they know what the hell you talking about. And I get it. So yeah, we moving on. We moving on. All right. We moving on. We're going to learn how to be progressive through this whole situation. All right. And let's do this. Let's pay attention to how businesses are trying to earn your business right now, from furniture stores to car dealerships. Let's learn their process. Let's learn what they doing. Know that you have those options when it's time to go spend your money. Know that. I've been known that they can get creative in financing. So we're going to learn a few different things in the next few days. We're going to start saying things like creative financing. We're going to learn how to not use our own money to do certain things, because one of the things I've learned to do is I've learned how to use others' money to make certain things happen in business. Okay. Unfortunately, I've learned how to use my own damn money in a whole lot of shit too. But I do know how to use certain monies in certain positions, and that will be what I'll try to share one day. We'll go over all those things on how we can position ourselves and work together. And I'm telling you, when this crisis is over, those of us that survive, I'm going to give you one example of a business right now that has to be booming out the freaking door. And it's that Uber Eats and all these driving companies and things of that nature. Now, I would think that they're being utilized now more than ever. And I'm not talking about Uber driving you around, because I don't think many people are getting in cars with random people. I'm talking about the business of food delivery. Do you know 5 or 6 years ago, I proposed that same type of business to some people, and they did not want to invest in it. They thought it was ridiculous that people would want that. They thought that you could go pick up McDonald's and deliver it to someone. Because I always wondered, why is it only Chinese food and pizza places were the only ones that are delivering? It didn't make any sense to me. It didn't make sense. So I had the idea many years ago. Here's the difference between doers and sayers. Procrastinators come up with great ideas that other people do. Get it? You ever had an idea and thought it was the greatest in the world, and then 6 months later, or a year, or 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you see it out there? It's not that you were the only one with the idea. We all have ideas. We all have ideas that match. It's going to be great one day to see somebody create something that we don't have yet. It's almost impossible to do that. We've been on this planet and this earth long enough where almost every idea has been thought of and tried. If you want to do something new, you better get in the technology field. But if you're just starting now, you're probably 15, 20 years behind. My point is this. When you come up with a great idea, if you don't see it out there, try it. Get a feel for it. And just because people tell you that it's not going to work or they think it's a bad idea, that don't mean anything. That don't mean anything. Some of the most successful businesses today that are multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar businesses, all those people were told that it's not a good idea. Nobody's going to want a computer in their house. That's too expensive. What you mean everybody's going to carry a cell phone one day? What you talking about? Remember when those cell phones took up half the middle of your seat and everybody was cool if they had a phone in their car? Remember those days? Well, I do. And I remember if you had a phone in your car, you had to have you had to be something special in this world. Now everybody has a phone. You have 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds walking around with cell phones to play games on. They can't even talk on them yet, but they use them for attention situations. So we have not only just phones in our hands, now we have computers. So everything can be done. I'm not trying to preach. I'm just saying, after this corona thing, those that are with me still, I really appreciate you. My hour is up. But after this crisis, y'all, let's go hard. Get your playbooks ready right now. Line everything up. This is a very hard, difficult time to start anything at the moment. You can't even test market anything right now unless you have an online product. This is a very tough situation. But I'm going to tell you something. As soon as they let us off the leash, as soon as they let everybody out, people are going to be out. They're going to want to spend money. They're going to want to know. They're going to want to do something. There's just, I hear you, Miss O'Neill. Let me say what Miss O'Neill said was this. She said, not after we need to go hard now. Go hard on your lineup right now. In other words, get your strategy right now. Get your playbook in order. Don't aggressively go after a market. I mean this sincerely, and I mean this in a positive way. Sometimes what happens is in business, okay, and I hope I'm saying this to people so they'll understand, understand that I'm being, positive and trying to make people understand that in business, just like anything else, like the music game or a comic, just like anything else in business, it's all about timing. You have to you could put a great product out all at the wrong time. You can put a bad product out at a booming time, at a good time. Don't mean the product is good. It was successful because of the timing. So what I don't want to happen is I don't want us to aggressively go into a dead market. Okay? Unless you have something that's relevant to the circumstances right now, that's when I would aggressively go after it. But like right now, a buddy of mine down in Tampa, Ivan, I told him, God bless Ivan. He has an idea. He has a cleanup service. He has a detail shop. Okay. He can he can do detoxing of cars. It was a great way of saying a detailed car. He has this chemical that he can put in his car. Well, right now is not the time to detox cars, if you understand what I'm saying. It's still alive. It's still going. It's still a plague. It's still a crisis. But soon as it's over, I think they'll be lined up at his door to have their cars sprayed, to detox the cars. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is there's a timing process in business. There's a time that you aggressively attack a market. There's a good time and a bad time. So let's just be patient. But what I'm saying is when they let that cage down or they let that door open, be ready. Be ready. Have your marketing plan ready, because there's already people right now, big companies, that are already knowing that people are going to want to get out, spend their money. Restaurants are going to be crazy. Restaurants are going to be absolutely crazy. And see, here's the thing. I was talking about the Uber Eats thing where they're delivering. Uber Eats better get it all in right now. No disrespect to them and no disrespect to those drivers. But you better get as much running in as you can now, because as soon as this crisis is over, your business will go on a decline because of the timing. That aggressive market of having Uber Eats will slow down because more people will visit restaurants. More people will walk into restaurants and appreciate that walk-in more. More people will sit down and eat dinner at restaurants, appreciating that. So everything's about timing. Get your playbooks out. Connect your dots. Use this platform right here to, I did something on one of my other, on my Facebook page, and I said, list your businesses, the small businesses, because I want to know the small nail shops. I want to know the hair product stores. I want to know the tax consultants. I want to know the people who have the small restaurant. in the communities. I want to know those people, and I want you to know them as well. And what happens is when this crisis ends, we should pay those guys a visit. We all are going to need each other. And if you're a graphic artist right now or something like that, if you're that type of person, then you should be marketing to guys that want to do their own business card printers. There's just so much right now that you can prep for. Get at it. Get at it. Get at it. Because this thing is gonna go for a while. If they came out with a solution today, they still have to test it. Guys, this is gonna be I'm not saying this in a negative way. This is gonna be a tough summer for us. This is gonna be a tough summer. Let me just say this. Our leadership in this country is at a decline. Whenever you have someone standing up in front of you and you know they're not being honest, you know that they're not telling you. I can tell, I hate that I have to go in on people, but I could tell that Trump has been briefed on these situations and then he run with it. See, he doesn't have any political experience. He's a boardroom guy. So he's a get it done type of guy. Say whatever you got to do to massage your needs and how you feel. He's a massage person. He's not the type that's going to, the type of person that I respect more than anybody is somebody that can just say, I don't know. I'm working on that. I have the best people around me in the world. I have the greatest people around me in the world, and I'll get back to you on that. I can respect that other than somebody saying, well, we shouldn't worry about this. This is not a big deal with a blow over. It's a hoax. We'll be back and running up by Easter. Whenever you hear people saying things like that, that's bad leadership. To give a forecast and then try to make it seem like you were pushed in a corner to say something ridiculous is true bad leadership. Whenever I have someone that works with me, because I don't have people that work for me, we work together, I will admit, well, I really don't know. Can you look into that for me? Let's learn. Great leadership put good people and great people around them. And I want to end on this note because I'm getting long on this. I just want to say this to you. Whenever you're the smartest in the room, you're in the wrong damn room. For those that may have missed this, go back and listen to it. Go back and play it. And hopefully you'll catch what I was talking about and understand and know that I'm just a common man that just kind of have his opinions and have a little bit of fight. And feel like the right thing need to be done for everybody. I'm not going to say free the young man. I'm going to say do the right thing for that young man. I'm going to say that young man who's in jail for doing the same thing that we see going on in organized situations. I think he should have proper, the court system is just not, maybe there's something I don't know. Maybe there's some information that's being held back that I just don't know about. But if you're going to get that young man a $350,000 bond for that reason, maybe he's getting it for some other reasons. I don't know. I heard some other stuff. I don't know. But if you're going to give him a $350,000 bond for being on a block party and filming it, then you sure better be serving some summons up to some churches. That's the least you can do to show that shit is at least halfway fair. You ain't pump faking nobody out. But I'm just saying, at least you can show us some fairness, show some action. How does the governor feel? How does the governor of Ohio feel? Mayor Cranley in Cincinnati can't do anything about that situation. It's out of his area. But how does how does the governor feel about the actions of the church? Because quite frankly, I'm going to be honest with y'all. Y'all might not like what I'm about to say. The governor in Ohio has done an excellent job in his coverage in this. He's done a great job. This is the only thing I think that I know of personally that I can think of right this minute. This is one of the only things that I feel has been lazy on his part, and that is addressing the social distance with the church and holding the pastors responsible. I'm not going to keep getting into that. Until we read again, we'll talk again tomorrow. Do something nice for somebody, man. Reach out to somebody. Tell them you miss them. Tell them that you appreciate them. Let them know that they're going to get through this. You might not know this, but everybody knows somebody that got corona. You just don't know they have it. People close to me have family members. I have family members that are suffering from this. So reach out to somebody. Let them know you appreciate them. Let them know that everything's going to be all right. And whether you know it or not, this brother right here care about you, or I wouldn't be doing this. I could care less what people feel or think about me when it comes down to misinformation. Now, if you don't like the real me, I'm kind of sensitive to that. All right. So tell someone you love them. Tell them they good people. Just reach out to somebody. Tell them that they cool. Just say something high. Just say something that'll pick up their spirit. And watch what happens when that come back to you. Watch what happens when it comes back to you and how you feel. So until tomorrow, let's talk again. Wyatt Live. I'm out, man. Peace to all those that have peace in their heart. Love you. Bye-bye.